There are three major things that no one is saying about the Noem-Padilla showdown. Not the GOP, not the Dems, not the media. So let's break down the context behind the sound bites and why the Dems blew it again. First, the claim that Noem did not recognize Senator Padilla. That's like the CFO of a company claiming she doesn't recognize her own board of directors. Padilla isn't just any senator. He's the ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Subcommittee on Border Security and Immigration, the very subcommittee that writes DHS's laws. And Noem herself admitted to this during her own press conference.
My job is not to pick and choose which laws we enforce and which ones we don't. We have laws in this country, and they matter. If you want the law changed, go to Congress. When's the last time you went to Capitol Hill and told your senator or representative to change it? That's what they need to do.
Padilla writes her laws, and so he's one of her bosses in Congress. Remember, we have three branches of government. Congress, who writes the laws and provides the budget, the president, who administers them, and the Supreme Court, who interprets them. That's why federal agencies have two bosses. And if she's questioning whether or not people visit Congress enough, Dems should be asking her the same thing. Because either she didn't recognize one of the senators she reports to, so she's unfit to hold her job, or she was flat out lying. Second, Padilla and the Dems did not land the punch. We've all seen the clip now. Senator Padilla identifies himself and then is forcibly dragged out and taken down like a suspect. But instead of shining a light on the questions he was going to ask and exposing how terrified the Trump administration is of a little transparency, he and the Dems made it about, how dare they treat me, a sitting senator, like that? If they do that to me, what will they do to you? Dems, we already know what they're willing to do to us. That ship sailed 8 indictments ago. We're in an era where Trump's cabinet picks are kidnapping 2-year-old American citizens and shipping them off to another country. And the Dems are mad about a breach in Senate decorum. The Dems keep playing this losing strategy. They call themselves the adults in the room, but forget that the adults are actually supposed to correct a bad situation, not just call the other side rude and still let it all happen. This should have been the moment to brand Noem as the Dolores Umbridge of the Trump administration, perpetuating lies, too scared of the disinfectant that transparency would bring. Instead, she stays DHS Barbie, and the Dems do nothing to move the needle in gaining more voters back. Let's not forget the other major thing that's not being said here. Federal law enforcement officers in a federal building did not recognize a sitting senator who has oversight over the person speaking and that entire press conference. This is not some forgivable accident. This is the kind of failure that happens when Trump guts the civil service, indexing for blind loyalty instead of competence. And what's left? Untrained agents and political theater. DHS even tweeted the British spelling of theater, because nothing says "Make America Great Again" like returning us to the British monarchy. The Trump administration is so scared that they'll arrest oversight. And here's the real shame. This was a missed layup for the Dems. The Democrats don't need more pearl clutchers. They need leaders who will turn moments like these into more than a breach in decorum. What is your strategy? How are you going to win back voters? Instead, Padilla spent his time on the Senate floor this week recounting what a terrifying experience it was.
I was pushed and pulled, struggled to maintain my balance. I was forced to the ground. First on my knees, and then flat on my chest.
But Americans aren't his therapists. Voters are looking for a plan. Would love to know what you think.